obviously the Bears have to be concerned if, in fact, Brandon Marshall goes to jail and or gets suspended for half a year. This incident obviously is not a good sign, though it's a better sign that at least the incident did involve him being at a nightclub with his wife. That's the only sort of silver lining to all this. Now we got to let the police sort out the police report that she filed. But if Brandon Marshall is eligible, the Chicago Bears just turned into a legit Super Bowl contender. Because as you know, back in 2008, when they were at their peak in Denver, Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall had a connection that is rare in the National Football League, because Brandon Marshall made a lot of those poor Cutler decisions look sensational. And for however he did it, Jay Cutler's got a connection with Brandon Marshall. He can keep his head in the game for all 4 quarters, which they were not able to do regularly in Miami. Jay Cutler can make Brandon Marshall into what we saw him be during the Pro Bowl. And I know you don't have any respect for the Pro Bowl, but Brandon Marshall just took it over and was the MVP of the Pro Bowl. That's the guy who was locked in all the way for Jay Cutler. And that connection, they had 33 more targets than any other duo in the league in 2008. That's what's going to happen next year in Chicago. They are so comfortable with each other that Green Bay is in trouble now, even in that division.
Well, I don't disagree with what you say about Cutler and Marshall as a duo. I don't think Green Bay's in trouble. I'm not going to go that far. I just think they're a juggernaut. I think they ran into a roadblock in the playoffs, and I think that'll serve them better down the road. What I will say is this, though. See, we have to get into the incident itself and the nightclub, and we don't know all the facts. And obviously, we're waiting. Some woman filed a police report against Brandon Marshall, and you're at the nightclub 4 a.m. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. Your brother, you at the nightclub 4 o'clock in the morning with your wife. You there because your wife. You ain't there because of yourself. Because the wife has you there, which is kind of bizarre in and of itself, because you don't hear about that occurring very often.
If you're not a brother, that applies.
There you go. But I can only speak for the brothers.
You're at the club a lot at 4 a.m.
You're a club at 4 a.m. with your wife. You're there because your wife wanted to be there. It ain't because you wanted to be there. Because if you wanted to be there, you wouldn't want to be with her.
First thing I've agreed with all day.
There we go. Now, with that being said, still in all, we have to be mindful of this guy. He said that he's got some kind of personality disorder. He's had incidences in the past involving his wife. So like you said, the good news is that his wife was with him. Now, it's not good that she allegedly got hit with a bottle in the face, and she's injured and was hospitalized. We don't know what's going on, but you got to be smarter than that if you're Brandon Marshall, because you're costing yourself money. And that's really what this comes down to. And to me, what I worry about, Skip, is that he's the kind of guy, folks that are like him, that have those kind of troubles, their money matters to them. I mean, it matters to a lot of us, but it matters especially to a guy like him, because the slightest thing that makes you feel victimized, that gives you a license to be a bit more perturbed, per se, than you normally would be, can be problematic down the road. So it's good that he's in Chicago. It's good that he's with Jay Cutler. But at the same time, when he gets involved in these incidences and it could ultimately cost him money, that could end up being more detrimental than anything, because it ultimately affect his psyche. And then you'll need Jay Cutler to be something more than maybe what he is. And it could be problematic.
Yeah, I will agree. But bottom line,
he can play.
Worth the risk.
Worth the risk. We agree.
Yeah, and the deal that they made for a couple of thirds, not all that much to pay for what he could be to them. So, again, if he's eligible, it's a great deal for
Second
Chicago.
in the league in reception since 2007. So we'll see what happens.